Okay, I'm gonna be lagging a lot because I'm recording at the same time. But we all know opping, there's a huge delay between each shot. As you can see, there's like a huge amount of delay. So when you're in close combat, let's say in range, and you shoot the guy in mid who comes out, you give yourself quite a distance because you know he's gonna be running out in a pub. I mean, in scrim, this is not a common spot where they kind of do a half peek. They usually just do come out. So like, it depends on the area, but this you know they're not gonna, like, the chances of them peeking half is really low, so you don't have to keep your crosshair like that, but more kind of like this, because you're gonna be jumping out. So the chances, let's say 2 guys are gonna come out. You shoot the first guy, and by the time the second guy comes out, he'll be around here. So you gotta shoot and always give yourself room for the next shot. Like, calculate the time where the second opponent is gonna be, and then by then you're here, your gun's ready to shoot for the second bullet, and you're at the same time at the edge of the wall where the second guy comes out. So it gives you time. It gives you a chance for going for the second guy. So if you play on a full speed, it's like, so 1 and 2. So instead of trying to kill both guys in this area where you shoot one, and then the second guy comes out and you're fucking dead because you're, you know, reloading your gun and shit. So it really depends on where you're at. Like, for example, sometimes I pre-fire because when you're playing B as a CT, you know they're gonna come out of this tunnel. And like in pub, I mean in scrim, they kind of do a half peek before they come out to see if there's an opper. So I kind of aim right here in case they do a half peek. But in pub, I don't worry about it because a lot of them just come out. So I do aim around here in case they do jump. If they crouch, then I can just easily flick my mouse and shoot. But the point is, when the first guy comes out and I shoot, they know that op has a huge delay and the second guys will come out. So basically, I gotta, you know, move from here to here for the next guy running out, and then here. I mean, there could be a guy coming this way too, most likely. So what I like to do is 1, 2, and then 3. So it's like 1, 2. Because what happens is, the first guy comes out, he gets killed. Second guy runs out, try to get to the plant, he gets killed, or if you miss, whatever. And you'll have always a third guy try to set closet and then peek you like that. And that's where you get killed off. So you gotta predict their movement. It's not about knowing where they're at, it's about predicting. Like, for example, let's say 5 guys are coming out B. 1 guy is gonna look at door to check middle. Like, you know, if you're T, when you're coming out, the first thing you look at is that plat, by default. This is how people come out usually. They look here, 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 and then they look at the door, closet. That's the rule. And then from here, they tend to look at the window because you can't really see much from here. I mean, no one... There's a certain way for CT has to peek for you to see them, but they can't see you, so they usually don't... Like, I'll tell you later, but they usually don't peek you to a point where you're revealed like that. So most people do check window from around this area, which, you know, lines up with this. Kind of. Just memorize that line. And then they come here too and they check the window. So as long as they don't pass this line, you're kind of safe, because once they're on the plat, they can, you know, hide back and forth and kill you. But what I'm talking about the CT peek is... Like, you can't really see them when you come out. I mean, if you peek like this, they can see you before you can see them. Because they can see your leg and you can't see their face. So what a lot of experienced players do is they peek here. Because, you know, they have to cross. But, I mean, when you're doing this, make sure you have someone watching the door because, you know, they can come out and you won't even know them. You won't even know that they're coming out. So you shoot 1 to make sure they don't cross. And obviously by the 3rd or 2nd bullet, you're going to have 1 guy right below the sight. So 1, and then you gotta you gotta have to keep your distance away 2, and then like most likely the 3rd guy's gonna peek here 3. So it's not about pre-firing or try to kill them in one spot. You gotta give yourself extra spaces to move around, to hide for your each bullet. And I mean, sometimes, yeah, like I use sound, like footstep. You gotta just close your eyes and see where the enemy's walking and when they're gonna come out. So even with an AK, I sometimes pre-fire way too soon or way too late. But if you're extra cautious about something, and if you know someone's by some corner, you tend to shoot a lot faster than when you just run around and, like, you know, do this. If you know someone's around the corner, you kind of know, because you already know they're there. You're more cautious about it, therefore your reaction's a lot quicker. And even long too. Like, for example, if you peek 1, next for sure, second guy's gonna jump. So you gotta. I mean, it depends really. But like, if you shoot and then you don't see anyone, then you wait. But if you shoot and then you saw someone jump right now, then obviously you're gonna aim there right away. And you can no scope. I mean, the trick with an op is the first bullet you have to scope, no matter what. If you no scope, it'll never be accurate. As much as the bullet hole ended there, that's not exactly where the bullet hits. So for example, let's say I shoot here with my scope on, right? So right between, okay, I'm gonna shoot right at between these 2 textures. I shoot here and then I'm gonna hold my trigger and I'm gonna show you where the bullet hole lands. But in reality, even when you hold the trigger and the bullet hole lands somewhere else, like let's say here, in game it actually lands in the same spot. So just hold your trigger. Notice 1 bullet hole ended here and then another one there. In game, that's what you see, but all those 5 shots that I shot, or 4 whatever, they're actually dead on that area. So if you see a target and then you miss, just no scope them and shoot again. It'll be dead on. So that's the thing. So when you're shooting long and then you miss, your x-axis, this horizontal line, is same level as where you aim. So really, all you gotta do is just move and shoot there, and it's automatically there. So just no scope them. 1, 2. Just do it really quick. And as much as you saw the bullet land there, trust me, like it lands on the dot. It lands on the center of your screen, dead on. As long as your first bullet wasn't scoped in and you hold your trigger, the bullet will land on the center of your screen. So have your HUD center ID set to 1, so that when you aim at a target, what happened? What happened here? Up dust. So yeah, center ID. Get that fixed up. I can show it to you guys. I don't want to open up my console because it's gonna fuck my mouse again. But I think Up Dust is one of the fair maps for opping, because other op maps is all about hiding and just waiting for the target to show up, whereas Up Dust, you kind of have a variety of angles to play around. You got the close combat, you're able to cross and push up, do, corner with quick scopes, whereas Op Map, Op City, all other maps are split very far away so that people cannot cross, but I think Up Dust is pretty fair. And having said that, I'm gonna show you stuff in this map, I guess. A lot of pre-fire going on here because, that's the CT spawn, in Mountain at least. So this is a common spot where they kind of peek their head there. So you gotta just know where everyone's spot is, and when you peek, don't just rush out and then realize someone's there, so don't, rewind yourself. Just try to aim while you're, peeking. So it's a lot quicker. So if you're peeking, this area is clear, and then boom, kill someone. So when you're peeking, you're holding down your shift, and it's a lot quicker. In terms of your reaction too, you gotta be able to flick your shots. Like, let's say the guy shows up here while my crosshair is there. I mean, okay, here, because I can't even really see that. So let's say a guy shows up here. I gotta be able to flick, like, instantaneously. Like, I can't, over flick or short flick. I have to be dead on. If not, close enough. I mean, this is a headshot area too, so even if you miss, you'll still get headshot through the wall if you're lucky. But even here, the reason why I pre-fire, not pre-fire really to say, is because when I peek, I know how this texture looks like, and I know how CT model looks like. So when I peek and I see something that's not familiar, and I peek like this first, like that. So in slow motion, it's like this, and then like that. So if I see something unfamiliar, I just shoot right away. So it's like, and it's not about pre-firing really. It's just like, when you peek like this, you can tell if someone's there or not, and then you just shoot right away. So really, it's about knowing the spot, I guess, more rather than pre-firing. And I mean, like sound too. If someone makes sound, he pushed up, then you shoot. And the stop sound is really crucial. What stop sound that I've been using the whole time is, Op has a really long delay with sound. Like, it takes forever to fade, and this can distract you in finding out footsteps or hearing footsteps. So what stop sound does is it stops the sound right away, and you can bind this type stop sound in console, and you can bind that to a certain key. And I do this with any gun. Like if my teammate's fucking shooting Op and I can't hear it, I press stop sound. And because footstep happens every like 3 seconds, and the step, like per step, the sound wave is really short, whereas Op is really long. So even if you press stop sound, you'll still be able to hear footsteps. Like so, you can hear your footsteps. So don't worry about pressing stop sound and you won't be able to hear their footstep, because if anything, you'll just miss one footstep out of 3. So even if when they're shooting AK, I tend to spam my stop sound, so that I can hear footsteps better, even like one tiny bit between shots. So stop sound does help when you're shooting and then you want to catch something, someone trying to sneak behind you and they say they walked. But what a lot of people don't notice is some people, they drop down from high place. Like they say they walked, but you make footsteps, you're still walking, but I heard you. They're like, oh, I walked all the way, how'd you hear me? I'm like, oh, I heard you drop. Even with parachuting, like when you parachute and you glide down, you sometimes make that silent footstep. I can hear them. I mean, I can catch them on. I don't know about some people. Some people hear footstep and like it's blatant, and they still kind of ignore it or not hear it. I guess it takes time for you to get used to a point where you can multitask, but once you're used to that and can catch them on while you're doing something else, then you're able to hold that target off, try to kill him off, and estimate the time of him trying to push you at the same time. And if you miss, you can either keep going after him if you think he's not going to peek, or if he's close enough, then you should probably change your target and your location and get ready for the second kill. So let's say I hear a guy there. I shoot him, and I press stop sound, and I hear him here. Then I would obviously back down and try to aim here. If not, back and forth here, in case he goes between left and right and try to fake me. So you gotta give yourself always good location for you to counter any specific movement. Like if the target's here, I wouldn't stand here because it's open. Plus I'm revealed there. If there's a second opponent there, I'm gonna get killed off. I'll try to be here more up so I can see their head. And like if they come behind me, then, well, back and forth too, right? Like I wouldn't be just staring like that. I kind of be going back and forth. The only thing I gotta watch out is that area where they can crouch and walk under that. The thing is, when they come here, they tend to look there. This is not the common spot to check. And even if you'll see their forehead before they see you. So it's all about placement, like finding the specific angle. And this spot, let's say this is an AK map. This doesn't work with AK. Like, if it was an AK, I would literally just hide here. Just crouch it. Because, you know, yeah, with AK, no. You can't see that far. Like, the little forehead sticking out, very tiny, like maybe 1 pixel. You can't see that with an AK. So, all those little things, you know, as little individual thing as, you know, like, as tedious as they may be, once you put them all in one action, one movement, that's how an opera really strikes. Like, it's not about just flicking. Well, I mean, it is too, yeah. Like, when the target jumps and you should be able to hit them. That's the whole point of opera, right? To not miss. But it's about giving yourself certain spaces, certain angles. Each shot on, well, not only each shot, but like, depending on where the enemy's coming, and if you're being like ambushed from left and right. Like, if let's say a guy's below me, and then another guy out shooting there, and then I cut someone there, you know, peeking. I would shoot him, and then I know he's trying to peek me, and the other guy's trying to lurk me. I gotta estimate that in my head. Like, that's my prediction. So I shoot him, and then I can't kill him. So I'm gonna hide myself behind the box and try to get this guy. I kill him, and by then the guy should be close enough to peek me. So I'm just gonna be here and no-scoping him, or if not scope him, and then go back to my target. Like, you gotta keep your patient level really steady, and not panic, and try to take one by one. That's why, like, even I panic when I get like 5 guys ambushing me all at once. But if it's one-on-one, like, on each situation, like, there's 5 guys alive, but I'm taking one at a time. Like, that's what you want to do with an op, because the op gun itself is really slow. You want to give yourself a break and always shoot and hide. And also, if you're playing against an experienced player, you know when you shoot here, he knows that you're going to be around here. So you gotta, like, play around and, you know, use your head. Like, do I want to fake him to go this way and, like, quietly? Or, you know, do I want to stay in that area and be confident that I can take him down? Like, if I shoot here, one guy there, and the guy there is going to know that I'm here. So when I come out, I will know that he's waiting for me, which, you know, if anything, he has better advantage because he's waiting for me to come out. So I wouldn't really continue my way here if I killed the guy there. To kill him, I would, you know, try to either jump this and go somewhere else and try to lurk him. The best way is, like, one-on-one situation, you want to give yourself very patient level. If he panics, he loses. It's whoever panics loses. So you want to be really careful. And the reason why I switch my weapon constantly is because it shows your crosshair. You kind of get the very x-axis, kind of center of your screen, and then you change to op, and then you're able to know, like, estimate of where your crosshair is. And what I do is I go on a deathmatch and I turn off the HUD draw. HUD draw is spelled HUD_draw. Put it on 0, and all your crosshair, your HP bar, everything disappears. To turn it back on, you just gotta put 1. But this helps you with your aiming, even with M4. Like, it doesn't show your crosshair even with the normal rifle, so that, you know, you kind of get a general idea of where the center of your screen is. And this helps you with quick scoping. And quick scoping too, it's just right click and left click at the same time. But you gotta be steady. Very steady. And not only that, but like this we should all know, left and right. Like, you don't just press left and then let go of your key for you to stop. You press the opposite direction. If you're moving right, press the left key to stop. So if you're moving right, left, right, left. Right, like, you gotta press the opposite key to stop. This way you stop a lot faster, so it's like boom, 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 boom. So when you have a rifle, even with an AK, this way, you're not, like, if you let go of your key, you're gliding. You know, you're gliding, and you all know in 1.6, if you move and shoot at the same time, even if it's a little bit, even with an op, you know, so you gotta be dead on. Like, you gotta give yourself a perfect stop. And cross-up kind of helps, like, you know, it kind of does this. But, I mean, the best way is to press the opposite direction key no matter what. You gotta practice this. Like, this is as easy as this looks. It's actually really hard for amateurs. So just shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot, move. So stop, 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 stop. Just keep practicing this. Because you're shooting each pause, and this allows the recoil of your gun to cool down. So with an AK, just tap, 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 tap. Even with an M4, burst, 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 burst. Even with Deagle, like, Deagle is 50 cal, as it's just a game, but if you shoot too fast, it's still not gonna hit the whole area. So I shoot it kind of like an op, like a mini op. Myself, you know, it's more accurate from that to that. You know, it makes a huge difference. Like, that versus huge difference. I mean, first 3 bullets, yeah, it's pretty, you know, dead on. But if it's far range, it's pretty obvious. I want to shoot just a bit faster. So, know your recoils, know your spots, know your angle, moving left and right, know your sound, stop sound, strategy for yourself. That's about it, really. So, good luck.